Alright guys, so here's the review of the Charlie Paris Concordia. As you can probably tell by the name of that, this is actually a French brand, so it's actually designed and assembled in France. And then this is the packaging it comes in. It's all cardboard, so it is recyclable. Nice to see that. No plastic involved. And then we've got the branding on there. It's like a nice textured finish. Just lift that up. So I've actually taken the watch out. It's just on one side at the moment because I've had it on. This is the box it had come in. Oh, before I go any further as well, full disclosure, they sent me this watch for free. I do actually get to keep it, but you know the score. It's not going to change the way I do my reviews. It's going to keep it 100% honest all the time, no matter what. Anyway, getting back to it. So you've got the instruction manual, but we're not really interested in that. Then you get the warranty card. So you get a 2-year warranty on this, which is good. And then you can actually buy separate straps for this. So if you do, you'll end up getting that in a nice little pouch like this. So I've got a couple of straps to show you with this one, but we'll get into that as we get into the watch. And here's the watch itself. Before we get down into this though, there is actually an interesting story behind this. So this has actually been to the South Pole. So it's actually part of a record-breaking expedition, which involved the youngest explorer to ever ski the coast of the Antarctic without assistance. If you want to know a bit more about that, I'll leave links down in the description so you can check that out, because it is really interesting. So this has actually been to the South Pole. Obviously not this particular watch, but you know what I mean. Anyway, getting back to this. So they actually have a couple of different versions of this. So you've got this blue one that I've got here. They also have a black one. They have a couple of different movement options as well. With this one, you've got the STP 111. So that's an automatic movement. They also do it with the quartz movement, which is a VH31. They also have a few different strap options. So with this one, we've got the ostrich leather, which is the first ostrich leather strap I've ever checked out, and I do really like this. Really soft, really supple. And as I say, they've got plenty of other strap options, one of which I'll show you in a bit. But I'm not going to go through them all, I'll probably leave pictures on the screen or something, but as always, links down in the description. Apparently they also do a bracelet version of this as well. So you've got plenty of options, you should be able to find something you like. So because there's so many options, the prices vary quite a bit. With the quartz ones, they start at €275, and the automatics start at €695. But again, obviously it varies depending on whether you get bracelet, specific straps, etc. So just going to zoom in on this dial actually, show you in a bit more detail. So we've got the Charlie Paris branding at the top there, with the stork logo. And then at the bottom we've got the Concordia, the fact that it's automatic this one, but it's in French, so automatique. And then 300 meter water resistance. Got that date window just below that. No frame around that, but it is nicely finished. And then we've got really nice high polish hands. Applied indices with that same high polish around the outside of them. Really nice proportions on the hands. And then that mini track. When it comes to the bezel, we've got an anodized aluminium bezel insert as opposed to ceramic. So nice kind of vintage look to that. And if we look at this crown as well, we've actually got a nice bit of that in there as well in between. So that's also that anodized aluminium, just breaking up the crown a little bit. We've got a nice design on there with the compass. I'll just give this a bit of a wipe. You can see straight away as well, we've got a polished case. So it's a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. But it is only polished on the sides. The top is actually brushed on those lugs. And then nice chamfered polish detail to transition between the two. Overall, really nicely finished. And then we've got a nice coin edge on that bezel as well. You can probably also see we've got a slight dome on that crystal, so you get a nice bit of distortion from that. So, the kind of vintage look overall, I think. Getting on to the rest of it, as I said, we've got an ostrich leather strap on this one. So it's actually handmade. We've got quick release as well, and it's nicely finished, nice stitching. And then we've got an unsigned buckle, but it is polished to match the case. And then on the back we've got some information about that bit that I was talking about earlier, exploring the South Pole. and being part of that record-breaking expedition. And then we've got Made in France, expedition, 300 metre water resistance, and then the movement being the STP 111. So let's get on to the dimensions of this now. So we've got 12.1mm thick, got a diameter of 40mm, lug width of 20, then the all important lug to lug is 47. So really nice dimensions. Now let's test whether we've got sapphire crystal. Using the trusty diamond slats too. And yep, we have got sapphire crystal. So got a nice domed sapphire crystal, so you're not going to worry about scratches with that. So before we check out the Lume, quickly talk about this movement a bit more. So as I said, it's the STP 111, so it's got a 44-hour power reserve. So if we unscrew this and show it in action, plenty of grip on there, no issues with gripping that at all. So if we pop it out once, we can change the date. Down at the 6, pop it out again, second hand stop, so we go hacking, and then obviously we can change the time. Pop it back in, so that's just one click, pop it in again, there's another defined click, then we can hand wind, and then push it in again, screw it down. So really nice, really defined clicks between the date and the changing the time. Really nicely done, really smooth, can't really fault that at all. So now let's check out the Lume. So you can see a bit there already, but let's charge it up, give it a chance. So there we go. That's a bit weird. The camera's showing it as more of a bluey colour. It is actually C3 this, so there we go. It's changing now. Sometimes it takes a second or two for the camera to adjust. So C3 Lume on this. Nicely applied, no patchiness at all. I probably would have liked a little bit more on the hands maybe. Perhaps that's because they're a little bit thin. But compared to the indices, they don't seem quite as bright, if I'm being nitpicky. But they last an okay amount of time. Not the best Lume ever. Would have been nice to have a little bit on the Lume, a little bit of Lume on the bezel, because there's none on the bezel at all. So obviously you don't want to be using this diving, but with the straps that you're getting with it, the majority of them being leather, I think, it's not really that kind of watch. It's more of an expedition kind of watch as opposed to a diver. But something to be aware of, obviously, because if you get the bracelet, you may want to take it diving. But again, not really that kind of watch. But decent Lume, not the best, but usable. Oh, just thought I haven't actually shown you this bezel in action, have I? So as I said, it's a anodised aluminium one, and then it's 120 click. Absolutely rock solid, no backplane that at all. Plenty of grip as well with it being coin edged. Nice satisfying clicks, and it lines up perfectly as well. Although it may look slightly off on my camera because I am filming on my phone. And with it being slightly offset, it sometimes looks a little bit off. So now I'll show you what it's like on wrist on this strap, and then the other strap I've got to try as well, and then we'll wrap this up. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist on the ostrich leather strap. As I say, I do really like this strap. Really comfortable, really soft, really supple. I think it just looks really good as well. First ostrich strap I've ever tried out, and I am a fan. I think it goes really well with that blue. Again, just a vintage kind of look to it. The aluminium bezel insert, that leather strap, just the overall style. It's got a vintage vibe to it, I think, but with modern materials and sizing, which is definitely something I appreciate. I do really like it. I'll quickly show you now what it's like on the other strap I've got it on. So this is what it looks like on the other strap I have, this blue canvas one. So obviously with it being a canvas strap, it's not going to be as comfortable as the leather one, because it's a bit tougher, a bit more rugged, harder wearing. But obviously if you're going to be taking this out, this is probably going to last a bit longer. Just going to zoom in and show you the detailing on that. Nicely stitched again, and again this is quick release, same as the other one. And it's got that matching polished buckle too. I personally prefer it on the other strap. I think I was going to get one. I'd be getting one of the leather ones. You can always buy canvas straps separately. Whereas the leather ones, I think they're a little bit special, especially if you get the ostrich one. Not something you see all that often, and it is a really nice one as well. But again, if you don't like either of these, they have plenty of other options. I think they've got a couple of other leather ones. They've got a mesh one. They also have that bracelet as well, but obviously that's going to cost a bit more. But overall, I'm really liking this. Would I recommend it? If you like this kind of vintage look, if you like the fact that this is a watch that's been to the South Pole, got that backstory, again, if you want to check out, know a bit more about it, I'll leave links down in the description. But I think it's a really compelling piece. And if this is a little out of your price range, they do actually have that VH31 version as well, which is a bit cheaper, but you still get the look as well. So it is nice, there's plenty of options. You should be able to find something that suits your budget and suits your style. So I definitely recommend it. But that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.